When did you come to this understanding?
Years ago, and I discovered that if you, as a black man, if you want to be an active father in your children's lives, your children almost have to be mixed because the black American woman will not allow you to be in your children's life. And the more you love that child, the more she's going to use the child against you.
Damn.
It's
This brother's up here dropping that ether. Have you witnessed this before in your immediate proximity, in your family's life and in friends' lives, things like that? The
oh,
difficulty
absolutely.
associated with it?
Absolutely. I have cousins, sisters. I've seen this behavior perpetuate itself throughout my entire lineage. And I respect everyone. I love everyone. You do whatever you want to do. But if you're a thinking black man, I don't think you can sit down and try to build with a black American woman. Maybe an African woman, maybe a Caribbean woman, Asian, Hispanic, but not a black woman, not a black
Damn
American
it,
woman.
damn it, damn it. Listen, you guys know me. If I were to try to give him some pushback, you guys would call me hypocrites because you've heard me say everything that he's saying right now dozens and dozens of times. When you hear men like this displaying their contempt, there's a problem. There's a problem. If men view the women like this, where are we going to get the kids from? Because quality men won't lay down with women like this. So that means these women will only other options they'll have is to lay down with other broken men. And then what do you think comes out of that vahoo when a broken man lies down with a broken woman? You think a scholar comes out of that vagina? No. It's going to be the very individual who comes by and gun points one of us for our wallet.
I did notice that if an Asian wants a good black man, she can always find a good black man. Hispanics, whites, everyone seems to be able to find a good black man, except a black American woman. So I don't think the problem is necessarily the black man. I think the problem is that he has this senseless obsession with trying to focus on the black American woman. The black American woman has made it very clear that she does not stand with us. She does not respect us. She does not love us. And we have to accept that. But we can build beautiful families just by going to women who appreciate us.
These people have not heard anything that is foreign to their ears. I think when I first started saying this, I have a show and it is called African American Women Will Be Used as the Tool to Destroy America. In that show, we were talking about how these women are literally being utilized as the hands of the powers that be to move things where they want these things moved, like pawns, you know what I mean? Um, the reason why you see people fighting so hard for African American women's votes is because they are the largest demographic of single women. Now, here's the thing with that. Women who aren't single, they had, they have to check in with their husbands before they make significant moves. And they're a little bit more difficult to control when they have a husband. Just like studies show that women spend more than everybody, and when they're single, they spend even more. That's because a woman who is not under the authority of a man. I believe this. Now, this is going to be crazy even for you. I believe turbulence, people. For those of you who aren't familiar with the show, when you hear that, I'm probably about to rock the boat a little bit. I believe as women come out of the vagina, they are innately bad people until they come up under the authority of a man.
Yes.
I believe that our grandmothers and our aunties, who everybody brags about, and I'm talking about, oh, this amazing behavior, the what did we call it? Traditional women, this and that. I believe that they were that because of our grandfathers. If our grandfathers had not had such a tight leash on them and put their foots on those ladies' necks, I believe our grandmothers, a portion of our grandmothers and our aunties, would have been hoes, bust downs, and ratchets had they been allowed to move how they wanted to.
I think that many of our grandmothers are precisely that. I found out that some of my uncles, sincerely, I found out that some of my uncles aren't even my grandpa's children. So even back then, my grandmother actively cheated on my grandfather with different men. My grandfather didn't know this. He raised these men like these were his own children. So I think black women have never really been loyal to black men.
I agree. I believe what we saw that we respected and had the compliments that we have on our grandmothers and people like that, it's because of how the men were governing those women. And I also believe this: there's something that let these men know that they needed to govern these women like this. They witnessed some things. They witnessed some things. Listen, if you go back to the Bible is loaded with cautionary tales about a woman, right? He talks about her nature, how she sits back and she waits on a man to enter the town gate so she can seduce him, right? You go back and you look at what Delilah did to Samson. This is not to uh, make the value of a woman of zero, because we know that if God saw that there was an issue with men and the cure was him creating this woman, then we know that the value that God saw on this woman. But there was never no time when we were equal. There is nothing about us that is equal, right? And here's where we hear the explosions. When you pour baking soda into a car gas tank, which is the same thing with women who God Almighty said you are to be. For those of you who have never come to a good example of what a helpmate is, view it as a type of personal assistant that a man is responsible for, who he can also love and create a family with. That is a helpmate. Now, what happens when the helpmate, the personal assistant, says, you know what, God, I appreciate that position that you gave me, but I'm going to respectfully decline. I'd like to be CEO. This is what we're seeing today. You disagree?
Not at all. I think that a woman is permanently a child. I mean, she can grow old, but she can never become a mature adult because her feelings are always more important than the truth, than reality. So, giving any woman any measure of authority, I think you're definitely going to doom that population. Whites knew this, so they gave black women all the authority.
100%. 100%.